There are a lot of manga out there that has fans begging for an anime adaptation, whether it be because of its interesting story, great characters, or because it's etchy AF. And we need to see that perversion animated, goddammit. So today, I'm going to be talking about the manga series Deadtube, and whether it should get an anime series or not. I'm CTM Emotionless, you can call me Savage, and welcome to Savage Sundays. Should Deadtube get an anime? Alright, before I can determine whether or not if this series should get an anime series or not, we need to talk about what the premise is, if they deliver the story well based off the premise, the characters and their development, and how many episodes it could pull off at its current state, and if it's satisfactory. I'll be using this scoring system. Let's get started.
Here we go!
Deadtube takes place in a world where there is a website that exists where people would post videos onto the internet, but with a darker twist, if you couldn't figure that out already. To win loads of cash, users must post the most heinous things on the site, such as rape, murder, torture, you name it. You know, the usual stuff that you would find on the dark web. Now you may be wondering, how the hell do these people get away with blatant crimes such as rape and murder so easily? Well, you see now, the website hosts challenges on their site, and whoever fails the challenge, utterly in last place, takes the blame for all crimes occurred. How do they get that much pull? I don't know, but sounds cool to me. Many users use this site to excuse themselves of committing horrid crimes and to go as far as to get paid for these crimes. Crazy thing is, the dark web definitely has something like this. So as far as the premise of the series and the world that it is set in, I give this a solid 6 out of 10. Definitely interesting and eye-catching. Its only downfall for me is the lazy excuse of how crime is shifted over. Even under the idea of some government corruption, this would be too short-lived due to how people who would have been affected by what this site has done would not let this slide so easily. Still, I like the premise of it though. Now the story of the series follows and delivers the premise pretty well. The only thing actually trickling down the story a lot is the characters. I'll get into that a little later. I do find the arcs that these characters go through rather interesting and intense. I will admit that the imagery you are going to see is basically gore porn. So if you're not into gore, don't read this series. It's pretty graphic, detailed, and brutal. When it decides to add a mystery element to the story, it actually does a decent job at it. The only downfall to these mysteries is, once again, the characters. Their motives don't live up to all the suspense and intensity that the story is delivering. It does have a great shock to it all, but God forbid the villains elaborate on why they're doing what they're doing. Like, let's be real, you're gonna find out real quick that they're as 2D as fight scenes in the 70s. As far as story goes, it's actually pretty decent, which is why I'm ranking it a 7 out of 10. The only thing bogging it down so hard is the characters. Speaking of which, let's talk about that right now. Alright, the characters. I'm gonna say it, but they suck. None of them are interesting or have any actual development. At one point, I thought the main character, Tomohiro, was going to develop, but I guess the author just forgot because there are clear pieces that were set up and never cared about afterwards. Mai is the same tone the entire series from beginning to ongoing. Hanai has a moral compass, but still sticks around the group even though she objects everything they do. Saki should have died, Kana should have been left alone and lived. You don't kill the little sister. God damn it. No, I'm gonna be real. Once they killed Kana, I was genuinely upset. I actually hated the series after that. None of the characters have anything really pushing them to do what they do except the main character. His reasons for recording all of these horrendous murders is because it excites him and gives him a hard-on. No, I am not joking. His reason is absolutely worse than no reason at all. I think the series should have started off the same way, but instead of a boner, have Tomohiro be freaked out, not panicking, but a silent shocked expression. That's when Mai will try to lure him in, but he'll refuse. This would be the perfect time to kill off his little sister. Now, I hate the death of his sister, but I think her death would be great motivation for the main character to then join Mai and to plot revenge for his sister's death by hunting down the one in charge of Deadtube. At least Tomohiro would have actual motivation, allowing Mai to be happy that he's at least recording her, and as time grows, he can start to witness himself becoming the monster he seeked out to destroy. Now that will be an epic tale. But instead, we have a dude records girl, murder people who are just like them because he gets hard from it. Even after his sister's death, you would think that would make him want to quit this hogwash. Make him have some self-reflection and realize that what he and his girl are doing affects other people. But nah, dude got over his sister's death faster than Vegeta getting over a Vegeta's death. Yeah, that made sense. These characters suck. The best character got killed off and she wasn't there much. They get a solid 2 out of 10. Okay, now the important thing. Does it have enough material to have a show? Hell yes it does. Deadtube could honestly run for at minimum 2 seasons if it wanted to. Considering that where the manga is currently, it doesn't seem close to ending neither. Each season is only worth 12 episodes. This is really good for a manga that wants a show because it may slow down the production of the manga, but it doesn't need to create filler episodes to buy time. It's also at a state where it doesn't need to skip over vital information and particular parts from the manga. I would have to give this an 8 out of 10. I've heard way too many times for people asking for an anime for a manga series that have less than 20 chapters in and not a whole lot of content made yet. So this series would be ready to be made and rolled out. Whew, yikes. After going through everything, it has a score of 23 out of 40. The main reason it was bogged down so hard was because of just how terrible the characters are. Yes, the premise is neat, the story is okay, and it has enough content for multiple seasons, but at the end of the day, this show wouldn't get a season 2. People would see this series as graphic gore porn and nothing else, and they will be exactly right into calling it just that. The only thing this series would gain is the amount of memes it would generate. We also live in an outraged society, and the way they treat women in this series, making them over sexual when even brutalized and just as evil as the men in this world, Twitter will throw a bigger fit than they did for the Rise of the Shield Hero and Goblin Slayer combined. Well, that's all that I think. Feel free to tell me what you think in the comments down below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, cookies and milk. And tell me what you thought of this kind of video as a whole. Would you like to see more just like this? I thought it was rather fun and wouldn't mind continuing to create more just like it. Join me again next week because I'm going to talk about Pokemon, and Pokemon is always fun. But before that, join me tomorrow for a brand new series on this channel, the Manga Book Club, where Quincy and I will be discussing about the chapters of mangas that we will be reading through together. You're basically getting our thoughts on manga series that you may be interested in. All right, that's enough. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.